with contract status updates and more. This is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we move on, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Rambles with notifications on, and don't forget to like the video. Giving a brief update on the AEW status of Marko Stunt following his return to the promotion to face Jack Perry on Collision. Sean Ross Sapp said this in a Fightful Select Q&A. It was a one-off appearance, but he was welcomed back. Mentioning the possibility of him purchasing TNA Wrestling down the line, AEW's Jeff Jarrett said this on his My World podcast. Like anything in the wrestling business, I'm interested in that. And what are they valued at? People get into these valuations, and I don't care what it is. You can come up with all the valuations you want in the world. You gotta find a buyer, period. And then that buyer has to agree with that valuation. Other than that, it's just great fodder, if you will. I'm not discounting tax situations and all that kind of stuff, but certainly I'd take a look at anything, and if Conrad says let's do it, I'd say let's do it. Outside the WWE Performance Center, TNA star Joe Hendry can be seen promoting an upcoming concert on NXT.
I'm out here breaking a sweat promoting this concert. Say his name and he appears. Joe Hendry live in concert next Tuesday on NXT. And check this out. Double-sided flyer, NXT's Great American Bash, July 30th and August 6th. Double the value.
So not only did they give us posters, we're on the bus ride here, which is about 15 minutes. He put his damn poster on every car on this damn parking lot. And not only that, it's signed. It's signed by him.
Every single car.
Every single car has a signed poster. This man is putting in the damn work.
Addressing AEW content being made available on Max internationally, president of All Elite Wrestling, Tony Khan, told the Battleground podcast, "It's such an exciting time for AEW. We're in great conversations with our partners at Warner Brothers Discovery. It's a real blessing to me, and I think everyone in AEW that we're able to put wrestling on TBS and TNT every week. Wrestling on TBS and TNT was a big part of our childhoods. There was no wrestling on TNT for about 18 years and no wrestling on TBS for over 20 years. It meant a lot to bring that back, in particular on TBS. That tradition goes back over 50 years. I love it here. We're having great talks. It means the world to be able to do this. We're in very deep, exciting conversations. There's a lot to figure out. We have these great shows with AEW Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision. Our primetime shows both coming on at 8. We've been doing great ratings with our flagship shows. It's a really exciting time. This past week, both shows did their biggest numbers in months. It's an exciting time for us to hit new highs. The conversations are awesome right now. There's a lot to figure out with the AEW TV shows, our pay-per-view content, our streaming library, and all of these things. It's a lot of very complex conversations, but they've been great. We're having great talks with Warner Brothers Discovery now, and it's a great partnership, and we're very fortunate to be here. It's a great place for wrestling. Also, Tony Khan said this about what Bryan Danielson's role in AEW could be following his in-ring retirement. I can't say how much time Bryan has left in the ring, but he has said this will be his final year, and this is going to be the year Bryan hangs them up from full-time wrestling. At that point, it's going to be a sad day for pro wrestling and for me personally. But it's great to be able to have Bryan that I can call and talk to and have in the locker room with us every week. Absolutely 100%. I hope Bryan will stay here for the rest of his life, and I know he's planning to stay with us for a long time going forward as part of the company. I would want Bryan to stay with us as long as humanly possible. Asked how his character has evolved and him listening to the crowd, Chris Jericho told Creative Imbalance, "That's how I treat anything I do. You read the room and let the story lead you. I knew that when we first started portraying it one way and reeling people into thinking it's almost a buffoon sort of thing until the axe falls and you realize, oh, these guys are not funny. This is real and serious, and it's American Psycho crossed with the Devil's Rejects. Now we have a whole different character and mindset. Polarizing, if you want to say that. Bottom line is, it delivers. It's one of the top rated segments on the show every week. People are into it. As much as people want to cry from the hills that they want to behead Chris Jericho and kick me off planet Earth and send me off in space in a shuttle, that's a very small amount of people. What are the people reacting to in the venue? What are they watching? We have a hit character with a lot of potential who's helping a lot of different people move up the ladder, and that's what it's all about. Revealing the most painful injury he suffered during his run in AEW, MJF said this to the Wrestling Classic. In the match with Jay White, I hit an elbow drop from the top rope to the floor, trying to impress people I thought cared about me. My hip popped out of its socket, but I pushed through the pain for another 20 minutes. White hit me with a Uranagi off the top rope, and I landed directly on my left shoulder, snapping my labrum entirely in half. It was the most pain I've ever experienced. After the match, I was told to do a press conference, and I agreed, thinking I'd fight through the tears for the wrestling fans. Instead, they made memes and laughed about it. It was the most pain I've ever been in, and nobody cared. Asked if he wanted to face Will Ospreay again following their match from last week on AEW Dynamite, MJF said this during that same interview. "Why would I wrestle a guy, Will Ospreay, I beat so handedly? I literally beat him in record time." I mean, who? I don't know. If somebody tries to pitch that to me, there's no reality where that match is happening again. I beat him, I now have this title, and I'm going to make this title mean more than any title that exists in all of professional wrestling. Then, once I'm done doing that, I intend on becoming a double champion. WWE ring announcer Samantha Irvin could be seen reacting to Dominik Mysterio telling off Liv Morgan on Raw this week.
I hate you, Liv. Are you stupid? Are you deaf? No entiendes lo que te estoy diciendo, cabrona. I don't like you. You've ruined my life over and over again. No te puedo entender lo que piensas por la cabeza. ¿Estás pendeja o qué? I can't stand you. You've ruined everything for me. And now te odio con toda mi vida.
Logan Paul has found himself in more legal trouble with his company, with Ringside News noting that Prime, the beverage brand co-owned by WWE United States champion Logan Paul, is facing legal action from the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee. According to a report by CBS News, the lawsuit claims that Prime is using trademarked phrases and symbols on a special edition of its drink featuring three-time Olympic gold medalist Kevin Durant. The beverage in question uses terms such as Olympic, Olympian, and Team USA, and also references going for gold on its label. The Olympic Committee, which also represents the Paralympic Games, asserts in the suit that Prime has acted in bad faith. The committee has sent a cease and desist letter to Prime, but the Durant-inspired product continues to be sold. The suit argues that consumers could be misled into believing there is an agreement between the Olympic and Paralympic Committee and Prime. This year's games will kick off this Friday in Paris, France. In a related development, U.S. Senator Chuck Schumer called for an investigation into Prime earlier this month due to the high caffeine content of its energy drink. Prime responded by stating that it complies with all regulatory requirements in the countries where it operates. Data from caffeineinformer.com shows that Prime Energy contains 56.3 milligrams of caffeine per 100 milliliters, which is higher than Red Bull, 32 milligrams per 100 milliliters, and Monster, 33.8 milligrams per 100 milliliters. As the lawsuit unfolds, the outcome could have significant implications for both Prime and the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee. With the Paris Games approaching, the timing of this legal challenge adds an extra layer of urgency to the proceedings. As stakeholders in the sports and business communities watch closely, Prime's next steps could be pivotal in defining the boundaries of brand partnerships and trademark usage in the context of global sporting events. Attempting yet another RKO, but this time on Kevin Owens, Tomasso Ciampa can be seen in a video with Johnny Gargano.
You know what really grinds my gears?
I know what grinds your gears.
Yeah.
Wait, that's not Randy.
Yeah, it's not Randy.
That's Kevin.
Randy has been taken out, and he's not here because he's scared.
I don't think that's why he's
That's
scared.
Kevin Owens, that's his best friend.
Yeah, they have shirts, merch shirts, art.
So I'm gonna get Kevin to send a message to Randy. Make sure he knows I'm not messing around anymore.
I guess that's sound logic,
Watch this.
but I don't.
But you gotta be
I'm always quiet. I'm watching.
Eyes.
I'm watching.
Be quiet.
Every time, I'm always quiet. You're the.
He's not even looking. Look at him. He's
not
looking.
looking.
He's looking at
I don't know
Pharaoh.
why he's
I'm gonna
looking
get him.
It's a beautiful dog.
Hey! What are you doing? Were you about to try to RKO me? No. You were. I've seen the videos with Randy. What's your problem? Why would you do this? Because Randy's not here today? You decided to go after me? Are you kidding me? Come on, man. After the weeks I've had, what are you gonna? Yeah, but why would you put me through this? Randy's not here. I've had a horrible couple of weeks. You know this. I have a match tonight. I don't have a bus.
Kick him while he's down.
Yo, kick me while you. Wow. Yo, okay, you know what?
Rude.
Let me
Yeah,
give
that was
you
rude.
a
You
piece of
shouldn't have said
advice.
that.
Do you agree with this?
No, I don't.
Do you agree?
I've been against this the
Let me
whole
give you a
time.
piece of advice. First of
Against
all,
it the whole time.
Okay, but here's the thing. If you want to get Randy or me or anyone by surprise, don't scream at the top of your lungs from out of nowhere before you do it.
That's good advice.
You get it? Oh, that was out of nowhere and I didn't yell. Yeah. So I succeeded.
Stupid. Oh, that was really out of nowhere, though.
Dog!
Sneaky. That was sneaky.
Let it go!
Doc.
In a promotional video for his Real American Beer, Hulk Hogan hit an influencer with a chair.
Not today, sucker! That's a good darn beer right there, brother. Wow, that's a good beer.
For an update on the AEW status of Malakai Black, Ringside News wrote that Malakai Black has been a standout figure in AEW for over 2 years, patiently waiting for his moment to shine as a single star. However, recent updates about his contract status have thrown some curveballs into the mix. After a brief hiatus due to a minor calf tear and knee hyperextension, Black made a triumphant return last October, cementing his status as a key player within the House of Black faction. According to Fightful Select, Malakai Black's contract situation with AEW is anything but straightforward. Black, who joined AEW in the summer of 2021, sparked a public debate about the length of his contract when Tony Khan mentioned in 2022 that Black had nearly 5 years left on his deal. Later reports suggested there might be a conditional aspect to the contract that could shorten his tenure. Inside AEW, the belief is that Black's contract extends toward the end of the year, with potential option years in play. Although this hasn't been definitively confirmed, Khan's 2022 statement indicated that Black had almost 5 years left on his deal. Adding to the confusion, PW Insider reported that Malakai Black is currently under contract with AEW through 2025. Meaning fans can expect to see him around at least until next year. Malakai Black continues to be a central figure on AEW television as part of the House of Black, alongside Brody King recently showcasing a dominant performance on AEW Collision. Speaking of AEW deals, this was also said by Ringside News about Buddy Matthews. AEW with several interesting contract situations unfolding while having loaded its roster with significant talent over the past year. Malakai Black's contract status recently captured headlines. Despite the crowded roster, Buddy Matthews is staying with the company. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select reported that AEW's internal claim was that Buddy Matthews' deal would have needed to be extended quite a while back. It was not specified if this was a new contract or if option years were being picked up. At one point, there was internal discussion that AEW did have option years on Matthews. Sources reportedly believe that whether he was re-signed or had option years picked up, the decision would have been made some time ago. PW Insider is now reported to clear things up that Buddy Matthews did sign a new deal with AEW this past February, though the length of the contract was not confirmed. Matthews has also hinted at his return to television in recent memory. In related news, Buddy Matthews and Rhea Ripley got married during her recent AC joint hiatus. Despite their marriage, Matthews does not appear to be returning to WWE and seems committed to staying with AEW for the foreseeable future. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.